Welcome back. In case you're just joining us, this is the press. We're reaching you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. Now we've been joined by our guest, Ambassador AdeMario. He's the director, CONISA. You're welcome to the studio.
Thank you so much. Good morning.
How are you doing today?
I'm fine.
All right, viewers, be reminded that our phone lines are now open for you to call in and join the conversation as it goes on. All right, there's been a lot, at hand for today. In fact, there's a lot of stories in the papers, and I'm beginning to think of how we can even spread them through the time that we have. But of course, the biggest story is of the Naira slump against the dollar. There are speculations that it's even going to go as high as 1,000 Naira against $1 as we see it. And currently it's at 950 Naira per dollar. So we found the acting CBN governor talk to the president yesterday, but there are only conversations around the things they are going to do, the things that will be done, to strengthen the Naira, to, bring in more FX liquidity and all of that. But it doesn't look like it's happening, because first of all, the initial plan was to, unify the price across all boards, make sure that it's unified. But right now, we don't even have that unification anymore. At the official markets, at the parallel markets, you have it as 950 Naira, 940 Naira, about 900 and something. But when you go to the banks, it's about 730 or thereabout. Isn't that even giving room for more discrepancies to happen? I would like to take your thoughts.
Well, firstly, I want to say that Naira, our own currency, of what need do we have to kind of compete with dollars?
Okay.
As Nigerians, what are we doing with dollars outside business? And the world we are at this moment is a world whereby all business are done online. It means that if there is any business that have to do with dollars in the first place, let it be on e-market, online. That will a kind of help to beat down the price of dollars to Naira.
Okay.
So, which means, if, for instance, I want to buy markets from a foreigner and I needed dollar for transaction, all I need to do is to go to the bank, get it on my bank bank app or my bank account, my dollars account, and make that transaction. There will not be need to get the one of those things that is encouraging black market is because even from the bank, they are not pushing the money to their friends
in the black market.
So which has not made it a hot cake. Now, in another way around, what will we be buying in our own country with dollars, leaving our own currency aside? So all this is what the acting CBN governor should look into, and see how, firstly, our business tycoons will begin to a kind of be discouraged of getting these dollars in cash, which is now another hot business for many today. There is no street in Abuja you go today, you see it. Before now it was a business of the houses, but now you will see Yorubas, Igbos competing in that field because they have seen it as a lucrative business.
Of course.
So everybody is now going into it. Even politicians now a kind of encourage their allies, their family members into that business. So but what we are saying is this: to really help the country from the mess and the doom of these dollars of 18 is one, discourage the cash, the inflow of the cash, because, and also sensitize Nigerians on issue of using more of our own currency. If you see, most of these are big men. To be candid with you, some of the time I get discouraged when they want to pay for hotel bill and buy some certain things. You see them coming paying with dollars. Then I begin to ask myself, Is this a country that these people really wish for us?
All right. So sorry to cut you there. You know, there's this headline that says Tinubu's reforms face stress test amid labor threats and FX scarcity. Talking about this FX scarcity, and just like what you just expressed, that maybe they should withhold the, you know, the spreading around of dollars and all of that. But for instance, now at the price that we have now, which is banks are selling for 730, and the black market is selling for, you know, the parallel markets, let me use it that way, selling for 930. That's almost like 20 naira difference or thereabouts. So imagine when you want to exchange a huge amount of dollars to naira, and if in that case now, with that, you know, that huge difference in price, do you see a situation where there won't still be continuous FX scarcity? Because if you have to do business, you will not be able to get access to the forex, because people will not bring it to the bank. People will take it to the parallel market.
Yes.
If, for instance, if you had dollar right now, I don't think you want to take it to the bank for exchange when you know that the parallel market is actually selling for higher.
No, the truth is that as far as the dollar is coming out of bank, it is not going back to the bank again.
Exactly. And that makes it even more difficult for access to it for business purpose.
So, and that is why the first thing is discourage the attitude of Nigerians depending on dollars. Now, how is this that I went to the bank to get about $1,000?
Okay. And
this $1,000 on a month transacting business with it should be able to come back to the bank. But there is no way at the present Nigeria that we are, instead of it to go back to bank, people will prefer to sell it to the roadside buyer of the dollar.
I'm even sure that staff of banks are not beginning to even do some of these transactions.
No, it is known already. Nigerian government, you know, we are even expecting ICPC, EFCC, DSSS to switch into action, investigate this people properly. See, in fact, the truth is this, that in 2 months, push a particular numbers of dollars to banks, UBA, First Bank and other.
Commercial banks.
Then, in 2 months' time, request for an update of that dollar and see. And that was one of those things Emmanuel was trying to do, that money was not coming back to bank. This money was being hoarded. So there was no way that would have been enough to be reaching out the way banks should be doing.
Okay.
And this was really affecting, and this is the way to go. And I'm telling you, if today the CBN really want to succeed, if in fact, if they want dollars to come back to 350, 400 or 450, they know what to do. I know we'll soon get there on the issue of the fuel subsidy. Some certain persons are into this business, and that is where they are feeding from. That is where they are sponsoring their co-friends to contest political office from. So they will not want that business to go down. And if there are no critical times like this, they will not make more money and more gain to keep in reserve in preparation for next election. So these are challenges. So when this period come like this, some of us sat down to ask, what is the agenda? So most of all these things,
you think there's an agenda behind
the truth is this: Americans, you will not go to the US today and you see the same thing that is happening to Naira at the cost of dollars in this country to happen. Naira kind of having an interface with their own dollar in their country. It is only in this. In fact, the truth is this, that as far as African is concerned, for me as a person, as an opinion, we should discourage the use of dollar in totality. Let us, if anybody is coming to transact business with us,
it's easier to discourage the use of dollar if you're not an importing country.
Yes, but the truth is that is why I talk about the e-money. What do you call it? This policy of the CBN governor. What do you call it? The online transaction and all that. If we want, for those that are into business, let the CBN now work on it whereby they have access to this dollar or to their account directly.
Okay.
And in such a business, they are just to make transfer. Even in America, most of them does not go on cash.
Of course.
So they go by transaction. So it is only here in Nigeria that we see dollar as something that is a thing of necessity. No.
It's like cashing out.
So we should not see it as a thing of necessity. We should only look at it from this angle, that if I want to buy goods from you, for your own personal safety, I should not give you cash.
All right, let's quickly take this call. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. You're welcome to the press. Please tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Yeah, good morning. My name is Wagi. I'm calling from Bamako.
All right, please join the conversation.
Yes, according to what is going on in the country about the dollar, I don't see any changes as soon as possible.
Okay.
But, sorry, Seven.
No, I'm with you. Please go ahead.
Okay, but the analysts are making a suggestion that I also wanted to suggest, that the trade should be, for any importer, it should be an online transaction. That it should not be physical dollar being on the street, just
Okay.
like the same. But normally, physical dollar being on the street is not a bad idea. But even in the US, they restrain how much you can have, how much of a dollar that you can have. The moment I saw people, trading money in what they call in sugar.
I guess we lost him there, but if you can still call us back to make your points clear. So he's also of the opinion that dollar shouldn't be in circulation.
Yes, no, but not that dollar is not good.
Yes,
it is good, but we are not taking it as a priority in Nigeria. We are taking it as another demon god.
Yeah.
That everybody is not pushing into. Now, as of today, if anybody want to travel now, you must get this dollar. What do you need it in cash for?
In fact, people prefer to be gifted dollar than naira.
So it is becoming obvious, and that is where we're having this problem. So most of all this, our experts, I wonder what they sit down to discuss in all the conference. There are simple process that you can just take and solve. But I must also tell you that these people, they understand how economy work. So if this kind of situation did not come, the big men will not make money. So this period, and who suffer it? Those in the grassroots. Our parents who are into farming.
Because it will cause inflation.
So they are the ones that saw, and at the detriment of these people in the local communities, and some persons are sitting at the comfort of their hotel room enjoying this wealth without apology. No, it is painful and it is disheartening that most of the time when I see professionals and professors giving analysis on issue of dollars, I ask myself, how long should we continue to talk? Let that be an action.
All right. Okay, so because of this dollar thing, now there's according to oil marketers, they said there's going to be a rise very soon in petrol prices, and especially because of the landing cost that they said has increased to 37.6%, has gone higher. So which means that we should be expecting petrol price to go to about 680 or 720, while some are even speculating about 800. Now there's this headline on the Nigerian Tribune that says petrol pump price, NLC to commence strike without notice if. Now the if on some headlines have been explained, because on the Nigerian Tribune they left it hanging at if, with ellipses. If can actually be very, it can mean a lot of things.
Exactly.
But according to other headlines, it's the if means if the petrol price increases, then they are going to commence on strike without notice. What do you make of that?
The truth remains that on what ground are these people increasing fuel price on daily basis? Now, what has changed that brought in all this increment? Now, when fuel subsidy was removed by Buhari, what they did was, in fact, from 75 naira during Jonathan, it moved to 85 to 100 to 120. Now the point is this, that if today fuel price should come back to 200 250, nobody, no civil servant will be clamoring for increment of salary. Now I will also shock you that while the NLC is actually making the agitation, I will also shock you that this agitation of the NLC also a kind of, it is just in the field of the civil servants. Now
a lot of people have actually been saying that too.
No, the truth is this, that if today the government start giving palliative, that will start from the civil servants.
Okay.
Now, where is the place of the unemployed? Where is the place of the students? Where is the place of the artisan? And where is the place of the entrepreneurs? So all this call for a serious concern.
Let's quickly take this call. Serious concern. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Wale from Amukoko.
Oh, please continue the conversation. Welcome back.
I was glad I was able to call back.
It's okay. Thank you for calling back.
Yes, I made mention of Shita, and what I'm trying to say is that, people, trading currency openly.
Yes.
This does not supposed to be encouraged. This is a very bad idea. And the moment I saw that, like, when I went to that place, like, 5 or 4 years ago, when I get notice of this thing, I like, this thing is not good. It's not good for everyone. It will come back to authors. And this thing is happening now. I can see if I want to be educated, I don't see any country in the world that this thing is being done, except in the airports or in the border, when you need to change your money because they need to change it to the local currency, so that this type of situation that we are having will not be occurring. So I think the issue is, about being patriotic, and even these marketers that are doing this thing in respect to importing fuel. I think they know what they are doing, and what they are doing is also trying to speculate, so that those markets, those traders will now try to be increasing the prices again. And I think this thing is not coming down anytime soon if they are not clamping down on this illegal trade and all these people doing all these child changing money up and down. And those are also part of the issue that we are really having with this thing. They really need to clamp down on these people, and even these people too again. And the issue we are also having is that people that are doing drugs and all these things, this is where they claim their money. They should really look into this, because there is no way they can put the money back into the system, and that is why this trade is becoming big, and they are just having they have cabal on these things, and even they have police and all these things also embodying them into doing all these things. And I think it's not good for our economic at all. Then please, one last word that I also want to raise again is that in this our Amukoko that I'm calling for, we also have a particular issue that if we do not be careful, it will snowball to another big issue again. Now the issue is this our Pako police station in Amukoko here. Every night, once it's 10 o'clock, they started extorting people. And this is not fair. And it's not that they are doing check and they are doing check to check. Maybe some people are carrying weapon or illicit drug or all these things. They just bluntly collect money from Okada and Marua rider and all this. And this thing has been coming and it's becoming a main. Yes, Amukoko police station. That is popularly known as Pako police station. Every night, sometimes they will be using all these local security guys, and sometimes they use the police themselves used to be there themselves. So this thing is becoming menace. Thank you very much. I hope something will be done about this. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Thanks for the insight. And of course, we believe something will be done about it. Thank you so much for your time. You heard what he said, but you were trying to make a point.
Yes, exactly. So in conclusion to that part, you see, our government must understand that immediately they did not take action over any new decisions and policy, some persons will hijack it. And that is what is happening at the level of the black market of even the petrol we are talking about as of today. But these marketers, oil fuel marketers, they are a very strong cartel that if the government really want to a kind of clap down on them, it is very possible. But why is the government is slow to action is that some of these people are their friends. They are their colleagues. They are from the same family. They were schoolmates. They were classmates. So a lot of things has brought them together. So to now fight it will not be very at the detriment of who? Those in the local community. If you could transport yourself to this place, can others within your family also transport themselves from where they are to the next place they are going, where they could get their means of livelihood? So in the issue of the NLC talking about protests, we so wish that the protest, if in accordance to them that there was an increase, but I know from advices that have been given to the government, the DSSS on their own too would have advised the president that this thing must not go beyond where it is, because going beyond where it is now, they are calling for anarchy, and that is the truth. So but the way forward is this, that nothing has changed in shipping fuel to this country. Nothing has changed. It is still the same process.
The new market realities is truly the same process, but do not forget that they are going to be buying in dollar.
They are going to be buying in dollar. Now, does dollar change in America?
The refined fuel.
Wait, does dollar change in America?
But they said the landing cost.
Wait now, does dollar change in America?
Absolutely not.
It did not change. Do you know that most of these people have access in getting their dollars from there, even without using our Nigerian government? Because most of them also transact business from here to that side, where they gain in their money. So, but because they are taking advantage of the nobodies, they continue to milk our parents in the local communities. So, believing that nobody can have knowledge. Gone are the days that people's knowledge of business was not advanced. People have now traveled out of their cocoons to the cities. So now they are beginning to understand. And that is why before now, none of us has access to the National Assembly. We see it as a place of some set of persons alone.
Of course.
Until our own generation start coming up to ask questions. In fact, within myself, when I was young, I feel that if you are not a child of a rich man, you cannot go to National Assembly. So, not until we begin to know that it is a place that even the deaf and the dumb have access to.
Have access to, of course.
You can go there to ask questions from the senators and from the House of Rep member. So, in response, you have a genuine cause. So, now the point I'm heading to is this, that until the government take whatever decision they are making, they take it by the horn and said, we mean this in its fullness, then we'll get it right as a country. But for us and for somebody like me, if there is an increment, we are going to join the NLC.
All right. Well, every Nigerian wants to join the NLC, but you made a statement earlier stating that NLC's demand is
for the civil. Yes, exactly. No, but the truth is this. I will also clear this.
Okay.
That out of about 200 million Nigerians, civil servants in this country are not up to 5 million.
Of course. And these civil servants we're talking about, some of them are transported via the company's vehicle, which is being fueled by the federal government.
When does that start?
A lot of them. I think I saw a couple of, most times when I'm coming to work, I see a couple of buses with the registered organization, agency's name, moving their staff from one location to the other. You see,
that was when the issue of this fuel hack came on board. Now, also, I'm aware that even at the level of Ministry of Youth and Sport and other ministries, they have their buses and they have a way of fueling it. There is an allocation for that. But I also have the knowledge that some of these people pay a certain amount of money or a deduction from their salary, which augments
for the transportation.
Yes, which augments that transportation. You understand? So because they don't have vehicle on their own. So, and you also see some of these civil servants who has a colleague along their route. They will also contribute to such a person who carry them every day. And when the person is coming back, who also carry them. So for those that do not have vehicle. But the truth is this, that our government should learn to be sincere in all its policy so that Nigerians can now be happy.
All right, let's quickly take this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Alhassan.
Good morning, you're welcome to the press.
Our friend.
Yeah, this is Akin calling from Lagos. Hello, Mr. AdeMario.
Good morning, my dear own brother.
Yeah, thank you. Well, my contribution to this issue of price and the Naira disparity of the thing with so what I just want to say here is this. You see, to actually find a solution is a very critical moment we find ourselves now. And being a market force determining the price, there is nothing actually that can be done, because the marketers will always have a reason of the landing cost, in as much as the Naira keep depreciating, you know, and then they are importing. So I think the best thing is to get our refinery working. That is one. But getting our refinery working is not a solution alone. Because if you get our refinery working and you directly subsidize for Nigerians only, get the price to 300 naira, which we can because we are the one that own the crude oil. But the problem is some of us, I mean those ones that are behind it, will still be smuggling out the refined ones that are subsidized for Nigeria out of the country.
Exactly.
The only solution is get our refinery working, and for anybody, if truly the government are truly working, a capital punishment. See, without this, a capital punishment, straight shoot aside, if possible. You understand? Whatever it's called. If we don't do this, you understand? We are just wasting our time. There is nothing can be done. They know, we see them at the National Assembly the way they talk. Is that how they should be? See, governance is not only president alone. I don't just know. The only way, that's just the only way. Whether we just keep talking, nothing can be done. If there's no capital punishment, look at China. Why is it working there over there?
All right.
So that is a sign. Thank you.
Right,
I leave it there.
Thank you very much for your contribution.
In fact, I forgot to talk about that refinery. If our local refinery is encouraged, most of all this mess will become a thing of the past.
But like you said, even if the refinery is now fixed,
it
simply means that we'll now have fuel at a cheaper rate.
Yes.
But at the same time, people
our brothers, these are our uncles, and who has generals and IG.
Look at, for instance, look at the border between Nigeria and Niger. Are you saying that somebody will not come from Niger to buy fuel in Nigeria? You could just walk in.
You can see some of those brothers. You saw
just drive your car in.
Most of them have even left the borders.
So you can imagine.
Most of them, you saw their cakes last time when it was shown.
Talking about refinery issue, I thought we were expecting Dangote Refinery to already start producing and selling fuel out to us by now.
The truth remains that who are those that a kind of pumped money into that refinery? Isn't the same government? So why not build our own as a country? Why pushing our resources for an individual whom his decision over that refinery is final? The government cannot make decision for him. Now, another thing again is this, that last time we were talking about a palliative of 500 billion. And an expert came out to say that if about 350 is added to that 500 billion to make it 850 billion, that it is enough to resuscitate 2 of our refinery in this country. Nigerians know how to endure pains. Nigerians can wait in the next 6 calendar months to see that our refinery come back to life.
You know
now, just like Alhassan said.
Akim.
Anyone, anybody that is found wanted who is trying to smuggle our fuel out of this country,
Capital punishment.
Instantly. Now, another thing again is this. About 2 weeks ago, the Air Force set ablaze one of the ship that is a kind of a kind of smuggling out. Now, it is a shortage to Nigeria as a country. Why not remove that crude? Take it to a refinery, and you can now set ablaze the empty ship, or you can classificate it.
You know, Nigerians don't believe that they actually set up that they set that thing ablaze with the crude in it.
No, I agree to that.
Yes,
but the truth is this: no, there is a way it is done. No, there is a way it is being done. But what we are even saying is this: that is a message that was passed to Nigerians.
Exactly.
Now we are not even saying that. Okay, let us agree that is the truth. But the fact remains that that crude, wouldn't it has been more useful to Nigerians, to Nigeria, and to our treasury as a country?
Well, our time is almost fast spent, so let's move on to other stories. Now, let's pick the security story. As a security expert, let me get your thoughts on this. They say confusion over NAF helicopter crash in Niger State. There are stories that the soldiers were actually going to rescue the ones that died, and they were in transit when bandits brought down their helicopter. So I'd like to get your thoughts. I know you had insights on this story, even before it broke out. The
truth remains that in that story, yesterday, I was one of our boys from that same village got an hint, and he even rushed to the hospital. He was part of those that helped and assist, and it is pathetic that we found ourselves in this kind of mess. Where's our technology? Soldiers are under attack. You are sending Air Force as a support team, as a backup team, and there was no technology following. Now, the choice of words that was used was crash, not being attacked.
Yeah, that's true. Most of the headlines has crash, but
yes,
I want to believe that this. Okay,
yes.
They said allegedly.
Yes,
bandits allegedly. Well, on the Punch,
yes,
says allegedly
now,
attacked.
but the point I want to bring out from there is this: that are we now saying that these bandits are more equipped than our armies, than our Air Force, than our Navy? So are we not saying that these people arms are more equipped than the security arm of this country? Just some few persons, not up to 100, killing innocent young Nigerians. Most of those that died, they are young people of my own generation. But my point is this: that to solve this problem, to bring an end to this problem, the security agencies know the route these people are passing through, from Shiroro to Kaduna, Zamfara. When this attack occur, they know where next discipline enrichment is. At least, if not for anything, to avenge the lives of the dying soldiers. Some of them are still alive. We are praying for them. But the fact is this, that our security agencies must wake up on taking the fight to the abode of these criminal elements. So it is not about mounting roadblocks. It is not about being within the community cycle. It is about going to the exact place these criminals are. And this will really help us. So let us stop fighting these criminals from the surface. Let us go down to the root. Let us, if you see what Eto of Nupe did,
okay,
all his chiefs, he told them categorically, if there is a bandit attack in your community, I will dethrone you. And in communities under him, as I talk to you, it is difficult for you to hear that bandits attack that place. Because they sit up immediately. They build up their youth. So again, the youth in these communities where these attacks are happening, how far has the government equipped them? How far has the government empowered them? How far has the government encouraged them to join the security agencies to fight this criminal element? But yet this criminal element will come and induce these young ones with peanuts. 100,000, 200,000, 300,000 from the information we got. And they will end up joining them. And when security agencies come, these same people will find it difficult to divulge informations to the security agencies. So we are now saying to help out. One, the government, the federal government to be precise, should look for a means to encourage youths in these local communities who are home-based, financially and otherwise. And this will not make them to have confidence in the government. Because immediately they divulge an information, and some few of these bandits are arrested. At the cost of relationship, you see some of these security agencies mentioning name of those that divulge. At the end of the day, the family of these persons have been attacked, or this person that divulged the information is being attacked. So what we are saying is that our security agencies across board, especially in Niger State at the moment, in Zamfara at the moment, I think the attack in Borno and others has reduced a little. But where is hurting at the moment is Zamfara, Plateau, Niger, and Katsina. There was some little attack in Benue recently too again. So, but to be able to succeed, one, our security agencies' manpower has reduced drastically. And the young ones that are just being recruited, at least they need about 1-2 years experience to be pushed to this front line immediately after their training. So you can't just rush pushing them into the front line. There is need for experience. And one of the reasons why they are prone to this attack is because they have not gotten that expertise experiences of what war engaging bandit is all about. And that is why you see they will just come attack their base and run away again. So, but it will be good and it will be helpful for this country if our security agencies should join hands together, at least at the level of Nigerian Army, come out with about 2,000 of your soldiers, civil defense, 2,000 of your officers, police, 2,000 of your officers, storm that forest. Do
they have so much manpower there?
Yeah, they have that manpower. During the election, you see them deploying 30,000, 50,000 personnel. 2,000 from each of this agency. And we're able to get 10,000. I want to tell you, if 10,000 officers should stop that, no matter how big that forest is. 2,500 from the south, 2,500 from the west, from the north of that geographical area. I'm telling you, they will hold them to a cycle point. They will hold them to a cycle point.
All right, still talking about our security agencies. I saw this headline on the Vanguard newspaper, the picture story basically on the Vanguard newspaper. I saw this harassment of last mile officials by men of the, by military personnel actually yesterday in Lagos. Now, this harassment now on these last mile officials, you heard the caller too talking about extortion from some members of the Nigerian police from Kwako police station. Now, with all of these things and with this kind of punishments and this harassment being melted out, do you see a situation where people can even have confidence, a little bit of respect for the uniform and even more confidence in the security officials?
You see, the truth remains that for some of us who have been victim of same harassment from different security agencies, especially the Nigerian police. Recently, I was traveling from Lagos, and the vehicle I entered, firstly, I asked the driver, do you have your complete document? He said yes. And he even gave it to me. I checked it. And we got between before Ore, Shagam to Ore.
Okay.
The police officer stopped us, and in fact the paper was in my hand, and I reached out the paper to him, and I told him, officer, this paper is complete. I have an appointment in Benin. Please, this is who I am. Can you? The next question he asked, are you the IG that sent me to the road? And I smiled.
Okay.
I allowed him to do his job. When he was done, he said he must search everything in the vehicle. I said, Oga, go ahead. Now, the point I want to draw from there is this. If the driver has given him 100 naira or 200 naira, we wouldn't have faced. So, but the truth is this, that our security agencies must wake up to nation building, must wake up to their so-called responsibility, protections of lives and property. Today, it is now harassment of the same people that they are meant to protect. So, the last man and the soldiers in Lagos, you see, most of the time, some officers will want to escort vehicles unofficial just to get money because of the minimal salary they are taking. Either a corporal or a sergeant or a warrant officer whom his salary is not up to 100,000 has 3 children. These children are in tertiary institution, has a house rent to pay, has food to put on the table for 31 days, 1 good calendar month. We take risk to protect his country. So now, to discourage some of these activities of our uniform personnel is where we are calling for increment of salary. That is number 1. Then number 2, again, is that the government and these agencies should begin to look at house allowance that have to do with you can get a money, use it to build your house. So as at when you are entering the job, you have spent 5 years.
Or even mortgage for them.
Yes, exactly. So you are already spending 5 years. In that 5 years, within that range of that 5 years, they are already working on that money for you. You just do that, then they will be deducting it gradually from your salary. Are you with me? Okay. So now, this we discourage because they want to meet up with their counterparts, their friends, their colleagues in school who are now into politics, who are now spending money in millions. They want to meet up, they want to buy car too. They want to build house too. They want to take care of their aged parent at home. So they also want to make that money. So this led to some of, there's an officer, there's a criminal that was arrested in Shagam or within that territory, Ijebu territory, who confessed that some of the arms they use, they got it for one inspector, police inspector. So what led that police inspector to such an act is because of money. He want to meet up. All right. Lastly, I also bring attention to this, that in situation I am at home for 10 years after graduating from school, there was no job, and the only opportunity I have to get a job is to buy it with money. Tell me, why wouldn't I look for a short way to quickly get that money back? So all this matters. Just recently you saw the FCC issue of job racketeering and all that these things. Yes. Now, you see, I know a lot of people who have spent 1 million, 2 million for job, and up till now they have not gotten that job. There are some personally I intervened. Then, lastly, I have said this severally, that our security agencies should stop dismissing personnel, because you have already armed these people. They are already professionals in arms holding. If you dismiss them, first month no salary, second month, no, third month, I'm telling you, they will join any criminal gang.
So what should be done to them?
What should be done to them is that, like that Niger state where we have vast land, let the police go and get land there. Anybody that misbehave, send it to that place to go and be cultivating farm. Take away arms from his hand. Let him be in the farm there. Let it be useful to the government. There should be an agricultural department in Nigerian police. There should be.
The security agency?
Yes, there should be.
Okay.
To augment, just recently you heard the president declaring state of how was it called? Food security was declared. Now the fact is that they can also be of help because they misbehave. So don't dismiss them. Let that be their capital punishment. Let them be there for 2, 3, 4 years. When their brain has reset, put one CSP there to monitor them. There is money in farming.
Absolutely.
Let them take care of pig, let them take care of ram, let them take care of goat, let them take care of chickens. Different livestock. And let them make money from it.
All right. Thank you very much, Ambassador AdeMario. It's always a pleasure always talking to you. Thank you so much for your time in the studio today. Unfortunately, we can't take all the stories. But thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me today again.
All right, viewers, thank you so much for joining us on the show today. For those that called in, we really appreciate you. And those that we couldn't take their call, we really do hope that you call again tomorrow. And that's how we draw the curtains on today's show. I am Olamide Alhassan, and that's bye for now.